Scenario.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Here's a Scenario. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Cannon. With me, as always,
Mike Feeney, and also
Brendan Sagalow. Thanks for tuning in again for another week.
That's right. This is another one of our first couple of episodes. We have no idea the order in which they're going to come out, but we appreciate you guys checking out the show. Again, we are a hypothetical-based podcast. We do what-if scenarios, morality quizzes, you name it. We put each other through the... to the test.
I thought you were going to say through the ringer.
Me too.
I was going to say both. I was almost going to say through the tinger, and I'm glad I didn't. So we put each other to the test and through the ringer, and comedically, and we try to find some sort of common ground through wild fits of fancy. But thank you again for being here and listening to the show. Shall we just get right to the
Let's
questions?
get right into it.
Hey, Mike. What's the scenario?
Oh, here's the scenario. If the world was going to become uninhabitable in 50 years, yeah.
So
And
now,
Right, okay. First,
climate change. Get on it.
that's what this podcast is about. It's about affecting change and using our platform.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
That's right.
Laughter comes later. We're here
Such
for
an environmentalist. You sure take your private jet all over the place.
Yeah.
You fucking piece of shit.
we're here for clapter.
What happened to that bear?
Yeah. Why are you not busted for your insidious behavior towards young women?
We love you.
I do. I would let Leo
There's-
spit in my open
There's
ass.
nobody
Yeah.
who I love more,
I would let
including
him,
my wife,
I would let
than
him
Leo.
drop a loogie in my open ass like he was tossing a penny down a well.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
the
that
best.
that wouldn't bother me.
It sucks because, like, imagine if he's like, you know, he.
Down there,
Water. So much water.
Hello,
a reservoir.
Dude, imagine if Leonardo DiCaprio is just like, man, I want to start listening to some podcasts. What's this one about? And then he starts listening, like, these guys are funny. And then we're like, we will let you eat our moms out, dude. And he's like, okay.
This is what's out there.
All right, going back to hanging on the beach with Emil Hirsch.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Forgot what being a staple of pop culture could possibly bring on comedically. So pretend the world is how it is. If the world was going to be uninhabitable in 50 years at the current population growth rate, but if we...
This
Okay.
question's a little weird. You have to say it in a certain way, I think.
Would you care to
I'll
Brendan's
say
reaching for
say?
it.
Yeah. So you have to read it kind of out of order.
It is a very weird question, but it took me a while to be like, what does this mean? But I think it's a good one. If the world was going to become uninhabitable in 50 years at the current population growth rate, but if we have the global population in 5 years, the world could be saved.
Halved it. Like,
If we
Halved.
halved it, it could be saved if we did that. What do you think we should do?
Kill the Jews.
Looks like we're recording a
start
Patreon
over.
episode.
It's the one thing you can't say.
Yeah, I mean,
We're-
they hired us.
Population.
We're not even 5 minutes in.
Looks like we're whatever. Yeah, you guys will get it anyway.
Bleep it.
I mean, clearly I'm kidding. They're about 4% of the population. You couldn't even make a dent in it.
Yeah, we tried.
I mean,
We
I mean, they.
grandpapa.
Okay.
So, but if we have to populate, the world could be saved. What do you think we should do? I mean, yeah, we have to put
Obviously.
people through. Well, that's what you believe, right? Do you believe that we can breed out stupid? So should we put people through some sort of IQ test or some sort of,
I don't know. I'd miss Brendan.
but for the betterment of society?
Look,
and
I'll
the
go.
human
Yeah,
species?
I'll go. I want to leave the
He's
planet.
to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't survive any test that they give us unless
Right.
the test was
What if
like,
you
be
just-
really funny.
What if you just firebombed? What if you just
On the spot?
No,
What would
no.
you do? Okay.
imagine they told you to introduce a podcast to survive?
I could.
You'd be like,
Hang on. Feeney and I are the tribunal of who gets to survive.
Okay.
And you're supposed to showcase your skill.
Sure.
Of being severely funny.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. It's nice to be here. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I was walking down the street the other day, and I, New York is crazy, isn't it? It's and then I take a gun and I kill you both.
That's like Eric from the fucking Billy Madison, like trying to answer the question at the end. He's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, what if we just like firebombed every prison? There's probably a few million people in every prison.
Serving way too long sentences for marijuana.
Yeah, but
kill
I'm
them
talking
all.
about every prison in the world. There's got to be what? How many people are in every prison you think in the entire world? 10 million?
I don't know. You ever watch? We have most of them here for sure. Our
Yeah.
incarceration rate is like literally 100 times.
Because it's privatized, and that's the problem.
Yeah, vote for Gore.
Yeah. Wasn't there
There's
there
a
like
Netflix show about prisons across the entire globe, and like they show these Brazilian prisons and
Oh my
places
God.
in Mexico, and it's like, oh, this is hell on earth. It's
Yeah.
way worse.
they like take
than
your
Bane's
shoes for
place.
10 years?
They take your shoes.
They don't
for
give you
10 years.
shoes. and
Worse
stuff.
than that.
That's Brendan's idea of punishment.
Brendan's like,
That is torture. I
Oh.
mean, you guys are really brushing aside not having shoes for 10 years.
I could go no
but I
shoes.
could also think about 3-6 Mafia plundering my asshole
Of
on
course.
an hourly rate.
Would you?
But as
would-
long as you got a grip, with like a nice pair of sneakers or something.
could you go a year without shoes?
No.
Oh, I
Where
could.
am I
For how much money? If you could go a year without shoes, not sandals, no nothing.
How much would it
Socks.
take? No,
How much you got?
You don't need socks. You wouldn't want the socks.
You
You'd
wouldn't want the socks. Why
you'd
wouldn't you want the socks?
because you want to build up the callus on your feet.
Yeah, you got to toughen up your tootsies.
Oh shit.
But you can choose when you'd start it. So, for instance, I'd start it right after the last snowfall. So, like maybe like April, and that way I can build it up through the warmer months, and then when it gets cool, they'll already be calloused up into the cold months, and then get back.
I don't know. I was never even one of those kids that could walk on too hot sand.
Yeah.
Or even like a gravelly driveway.
Oh,
Like my
yeah.
buddy Mishu could truly walk across shards of glass and like rocks. It wouldn't have been a problem whatsoever. Had the toughest feet ever. I couldn't fucking do it.
Wasn't Mishu the name of the dragon in Mulan?
I don't know.
I think it was the Eddie Murphy dragon.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's Ukrainian, so I doubt it.
I think it was, but yeah, I'm the same way. I couldn't walk on sand. I couldn't walk on gravel. Like any blacktop, I'm like,
Dude, I never wore this summer. It was like I never wore shoes or so. But there was a kid in my college who never wore. He was barefoot everywhere,
Those
and he was
kids
known
suck.
as that kid. Like he would be in class barefoot, and then like they
Class?
Yeah, dude, they technically couldn't tell him.
Brendan's more disgusted that he attended class.
Yeah.
than he went.
he
without
went to
shoes.
class.
He was one of these guys who was like had like a ponytail, but had like the horseshoe balding, but was also a freshman, and like you know what I mean. Like he looked like he was 46, but he
Yeah.
was a underclassman, and he never wore shoes anywhere, and he was very, very, very much talked about and noticed. You know what I mean? Like it's very noticeable when someone's
Yeah.
walking barefoot around. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's cool. Like in the early 1900s, and you're playing outfield for the fucking White Sox. And you're
Oh
shoeless
man,
Joe
Yeah.
Jackson.
running
But,
in
like,
grass,
oh,
just
that's
barefoot.
nothing like
Best.
fresh dew on your toots.
Oh,
but, I
that's
mean,
the best.
walking in the city barefoot. No, I couldn't last a day. If I had to leave my apartment, I couldn't last a day.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. How much money do you think how much money would it take for you to do a year without shoes?
Where am I living? Am I living here?
You're living you're just living your life.
I mean,
You're living where you're living now.
it would cost as much as it would like be to never have to work again.
Yeah.
Like if I could just not work and not leave my home, and therefore I don't have to put on shoes, that's how much it would cost. But I can't be in the world without shoes.
I want to say as little as 50 grand, but I might say 100 grand just to make it a spectacle.
Here?
Yeah, 50 grand. I could do that. The city is actually
I don't know,
the
man.
city is
I get
actually
on
one
the
of the easiest
subway
places to walk because there's no like loose grass. It's all sidewalk and pavement.
But you guys also drive a lot. Like
Yeah.
I'm on the subway. I'm like walking around and everything.
Subway gets cleaned now more than ever, pal.
I know, but like I walk more. Like you guys, all you have to do is kind of walk to your car. You get in your car, and then it's just annoying to have to like press the pedal with your foot. But
That's
like
fine.
Yeah, with your piss-covered foot. I mean, you're not walking a foot without like getting some sort of danger of cutting yourself or just trudging through trash or some bodily fluid from one animal or another. That's like, I mean, I couldn't, no.
We've gone so far away from the question.
That wasn't even the question.
The
What
question,
was
that was my question.
What would you cut the world in half?
Oh yeah,
if it saved the world.
That's too hard. There's like you have to kill like 500 million people, right? What is it, like 1 billion people
To save the whole world?
China.
Oh yeah.
But how could we live? You know, how could
So
the
just
world
get rid of the Chinese? And then,
how does the world live like that, knowing that we just killed a bunch of people? You know, it would take years and years and years and years for us to.
That would be the great darkness, the dark times.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we would also have to do is we'd have to coordinate a solar flare that knocks out our internet for like 6 months, so nobody hears about the great loss until it like flickers on, and then they just assume it was a product of also what they
Except
lost.
half of your friends are fucking gone, and half the people you
Only
know,
the Chinese ones.
and that's not many of them.
Hey, Mike, what's the scenario?
Yeah.
Oh, here's the scenario. You have to be sent back in time to any period prior to 1900. It's a one-way trip. What era do you choose?
See, I don't like anything too early because they had to wear so many layers of clothes. Like you go to like the Patriots in the 1700s.
You don't like shoes.
They're all wearing like 15 layers of coats and ascots and powdered wigs and hats on top of that and knickers and they have all of these tight clothes and all these sort of things on, and it's a real to do to get dressed in the morning.
Too many buckles.
But I also wouldn't want to go back to like.
But if you go like to the year like 1 or
I
whatever,
think-
they're wearing like nothing.
No, that stinks because then everybody literally stinks. I think I would go like mid 1800. Like when is like I'm trying to think. So post Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
But maybe like the 1800s, sometime around there, maybe.
Right before
Kinda
the
right
Wild
at
Wild
the,
West.
the Industrial Revolution, right when America.
Oh, Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West is pretty good.
But the Wild Wild West is
Wild West.
wow.
When I rolled into
Wow.
the-
Wow. But the Wild.
I'm General Loveless.
But isn't the Wild West like after? Yeah, of course.
I thought you for sure
Of course
was
I-
going to have some.
Of course
back
I
and
seen.
forth
I almost
about
walked up to you
General
like a
Loveless.
spider.
Yeah. With bad facial hair.
It wasn't the Wild West like very early 1900s.
1900s.
Yeah,
No. What? 1900s?
it was the 1800s. Oh,
You
okay.
think that happened when your grandpa was alive?
I never knew my grandpa.
He died as a cowboy.
yeah. He was.
He was scalped.
Oh, you mean Grandpa the kid?
Yeah.
He was scalped. That's why men go bald in Brendan's family.
Yeah.
I would go to like the Peaky Blinders time, I guess, which is. Oh wait, but that's like 1900 something, right? Feeney?
No.
What's Peaky
I
Blinders?
thought for sure.
He's
He's
writing down an episode name. Grandpa the Kid?
Stab Brendan in the chest. I was so genuinely
kills
nervous
me.
about what you were going to do with that.
Maybe you know what? I would go right after we became independent with England and just live in that fucking era and live in like.
That's tough though. Establishing a country.
Yeah, but it's so cool.
It's turmoil.
It's
Lot of
like,
turmoil.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Lot of
ton,
fear
there's
of
a ton
fear.
cooking at that time.
Just if I was friends with like Alexander Hamilton, I'd be fucking rapping and stuff, right?
Oh,
Isn't that what happened?
I
honey.
see. I see.
You could just take your woke glasses off for the rest of the episode. That would be.
This is also a good example about why the three of us should lose our right to vote, is because we don't. We're having a tough time determining what is pre-1900.
Yeah. 1776, the day after we signed the
Oh,
Declaration.
you know
of
when I'd go back?
Independence.
I know when I'd go back to. And it wouldn't be in America. I'd go back to the Renaissance.
Whoa.
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
That's
the only-
That would
that's
be cool.
the
Yeah,
move.
of course. Yes.
Yeah.
What
it's
are we,
the first-
stupid?
Yeah.
It's like when women first started washing their boxes. It's like everybody was like smoking weed and thinking about existence for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, that is everybody's on mushrooms basically.
Oh,
Let's go back to
fucking
that.
awesome. Yeah, dude.
Let's figure it out. All right. Here's the scenario. Knowing what you know today, if you were transported 50 years into the past, what would you do as a business to get rich?
What's 50 years from now?
Not from now.
1970.
Well, he said go
In
back
the past.
50. Yeah,
1970.
50
Said,
years
what's
from
50
that.
years from now?
In the past, 1970. I would. What would I invent?
No, what would you do? So this is the thing, and we've talked about this on our Patreon before, but everybody says go back in time and just give them Google, and it's like, do you know how to program?
No.
No, but I would do this. I would put every dollar. I would earn as much money as I could to put it all on
Yeah.
Google and Microsoft and them when they premiere in the stock market, and just be like, as much as because you don't have to invent it, you just have to invest
Right.
in it.
Yes, but also, and I'm going to throw this little time warp at you.
Oh.
You don't know if something that you did created a world and sent a whole fucking timeline where Google doesn't get
In
big.
what
Like,
world am I going back to 1970 and affecting change in Bill Gates' life?
you don't know, man.
You don't know.
It's the
Maybe
fucking
you
butterfly
land on
effect.
him.
Yeah, what if
Maybe
you
the portal
accidentally
opens
start?
up and you snap his spine? by
Yeah, or
mistake.
what if you like start fucking his wife or something, and he doesn't know, and he goes through a depression and doesn't come up with all that shit.
Forget it.
Or you meet someone
even want
who,
windows.
or you get into a car accident that stops a meeting from him happening. That he gives up. It's like it could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah.
So
This
you don't
is what I
fucking
would do. So the stock market thing is the easiest, least effort you could do. However, it's going to take some patience because you're in 1970.
I'd also
So-
live in the 70s and rock that out for a while.
Well,
Listen to
this is
good music.
This
Totally.
is what you invest in, my friend. Cocaine. You invest
Hell yeah.
heavy. You go directly to California. You find George Young.
Yeah.
You become his best friend.
You become
immediately-
Ethan Suplee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you get in on the early coke game when it's like barely illegal. They don't know what it is. It's fucking pure as the driven snow. God, what a delightful line that is in every movie.
Nice,
in that
nice,
movie.
yeah.
But yeah, you just sell
Cocaine.
coke and then you get out. You get out. You're not like you've seen how the movie plays out. You do a couple big scores, you make your 50 million, and then you get the fuck out.
Here's the thing about all of those movies. There is no getting out
Yeah.
because you're most likely also addicted to cocaine. So
Yes.
you are at the whim
Tough
of
to do.
impulsive decisions.
Dude, I had a tough time doing $200 worth of cocaine.
Yeah, nobody gets addicted to
Like-
coke.
What?
You don't get
Says the man who
addicted
did
to
coke off the street.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not an addiction
No, I have more of an addiction to the rush
of cocaine.
of everything.
Yeah.
But if I had an addiction, I'd be on coke right now. I'd have coke in my pocket.
I know, you kicked it. We're proud of you.
Thanks.
It took a lot of hard work
Thanks,
on our
yeah.
part.
Thanks, failures. No, but look, if you're making $50 million off of selling coke, you're not getting out in any sense of the word. You're going to jail somehow.
You could drop out. George Young almost got out, but his fucking dumb wife invited a bunch of his ex-coke dealer friends to a birthday party, and then he got busted because they were doing recreational blow.
Damn. That sucks.
Yeah. It does suck.
No, what I would do is I would just like write, I would just, I'd become Nirvana or something. Like I would just like remember all those songs. Just even writing like Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is super easy.
Yeah, but you can't sing like Kurt Cobain. You don't have that
You don't have the
passion
pain.
scream.
Don't you dare test me. Don't make me sing.
Oh, you're gonna make me sing. You're gonna make me sing.
You're gonna make me sing. That's not Smells Like Teen
That's all
Spirit.
apologies,
I
but
know,
it still
I was
works.
just gonna have you sing.
I don't, what's the words? Just say the first words of
Load up on guns.
Load up on guns.
And so that's why
Bring-
Nirvana doesn't catch on, folks.
And bring friends. This fun. I could do it, dude.
Just say your
That's
name.
easy. And Brandon.
Brendan Sagalow.
Hello.
Sagalow.
I love it. The thing with that is, if you go back to 1970, you can't be somebody who they're not ready for that music yet. Like I would love to go
Okay,
back.
Johnny, be good.
Your kids are gonna love it.
Your kids are gonna love, but it's true. It really is true. You can't go back and like do Eminem or something because everybody would be like, "What the fuck is this?" and they wouldn't be into it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's why.
All right.
Surely.
Okay. If you had to hide a dead body I guess not destroy. If you had to hide a dead body, what would you do?
This is what I would do. You put the body in the car. Put a body in your car. Maybe a rental. Get a rental.
Yeah, that worked for
No
Aaron
one.
Hernandez.
Okay. Do it in your own car. This is what you do. You put sunglasses on the dead body. You get into a Greyhound. This is my buddy. He's asleep. And then just drive, dude. Just drive. Avoid all tolls so you don't have any trace of you leaving the state or anything. Go the long way for everything. Let's put on a podcast or whatever. Listen to What's the Scenario. I mean, here's the scenario. And then just drop the body off in fucking 2 states, 3 states, 4 states away and fucking dip.
But where are you dropping it off? Like what sort of
Like
area?
a forest or something.
I actually think you had a point with the first thing that you were saying, where it's like, all right, so find a way to like get him on a bus, right? It's like,
he's gonna
my
smell.
my buddy shit faced. No, he's freshly dead. So
Okay.
my buddy shit faced. You know, it's gonna be a great long bus ride, like whatever. And then you guys take off on the bus, and then midway through, you're like, dude, and you pretend that he died on the bus.
Yeah, but like, what if he died by like a gun wound or something?
Well, right, that's a different story.
I would say you guys are thinking of this all wrong. You got to go out, way out, and deep sea fishing. Going out on a way deep
on
boat,
the Stugats too.
way deep boat. You can even be a party boat where other people are around and stuff. You go on a deep sea boat and they do like bluefish and stuff like that, where you're doing it overnight. And so it's like on a night fish, you know. So it's like midnight.
Take
it's
me
dark.
down to the river.
Yeah, it's dark, and then all of a sudden, yeah. Take me to your river. But so they're deep sea fishing, and then all of a sudden, again, you weekend at Bernie's, your friend sitting there with the pole, and then at one point when no one's looking, you hip check him over the side, and you go, "My friend fell. He can't swim," and then he just goes bloop, 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 and he goes all the way down because he's
Old Natalie Wood.
yeah, exactly. And then they're like, "We're not going to jump in because all the bluefish are biting right now." And then the bluefish go and bite him, and then you can't tell if he died because of the fish or if he died because of that, and then you're good.
Right. And then they chalk it up to another COVID death.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
hoax.
Yeah. You just say it was COVID.
Yeah, oh my God, this man fell overboard from too much COVID.
That's it.
All right. So
Convoy. Okay, hide a dead body. If smoking wasn't actually bad for your health but still had cosmetic effects, e.g. made your teeth and fingers yellow and wrinkles around your mouth, would you smoke?
No, because I fucking hate the smell of it, dude. It stinks so
I love
bad.
the smell of it.
I hate the smell of people. I hate the smell of people when they smoked, their clothes, their breath, the fucking smell of the lit cigarette. I mean, the smell of it in the clothes and everything afterwards
especially
is way
when
worse.
it's cold. Oh, I love it when it's cold and the cigarettes are on you. I love that smell.
That's like,
Man.
that's really
Awful.
Yeah, awful.
It's like a
Why do you
universally
like that?
hated smell.
Oh, my mom
He's into
did
bad
it.
smells.
I'm not in.
You are into bad smells. You've talked about it extensively. Actually.
Yeah, you like when girls piss their undies and then give them to you and you keep them in a plastic bag
I'm
for a while.
a little attracted by it, and I do like kissing a chick that fucking smoked. You know,
That
like,
was,
like making out with a
in an
girl.
Did you ever
Ashtray.
smoke cigarettes?
I smoked a couple yesterday.
He was
No, I
2 days
mean,
ago.
like,
He was smoking.
Oh no!
He
I
was like
never-
trying to bring it back not too long, like over the summer. He was like when his immune system was low from COVID. He was he showed up with a pack of cigarettes. Remember with that Bel Air show? You showed up smoking a cigarette, and then I just started laughing so hard. I was
know,
like,
you-
"Are
you-
you,
Oh, yeah, I yelled.
smoking?"
You laughed me out of it. Yeah.
because it's just anybody who smokes now. You're like, who do you think you are?
Yeah, but sometimes you just
You
gotta
gotta be
buy a
50
pack,
or
dude.
over to
Sometimes you just like, I gotta buy a pack. I gotta fucking smoke.
no.
What makes you buy a pack?
When I watch someone on TV do it, and it looks super cool.
Well, I will say that it always
after
looks
watching
cool.
True Detective the first season, I was
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
have never wanted to smoke 4 pounds.
Dude,
of
seeing
fucking
Chappelle
4
do that
pounds of
monologue
cigarettes.
while smoking and saying the N-word on SNL, I was like, I want to be that.
I can't believe they got him. They didn't have to bleep that on NBC.
He's too powerful.
Isn't that wild that he's more powerful than NBC? You know what I mean? Like,
no.
think about that. That was pretty insane.
I used to smoke. I smoked
People
for like
hated
10
it.
years.
I could
Or not
never. I never.
What?
The fan?
Should that? Hey, I don't think anybody. I think it's pretty good.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
In terms of sound.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't turn
okay.
it off now. We'll keep it going.
Yeah.
For continuity.
Yeah. No, I never got addicted to it,
Yeah.
but I also never got addicted to coffee, and now I'm super addicted to it. So now I know I can get addicted to cigarettes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not addicted to coffee. If I just don't have 2 a day, I'm a really bad person. So,
Yeah, that's an addiction.
and I get a crushing headache. You shut up.
I had a split. Yeah, I had a splitting headache this morning from because I didn't have coffee until like 10:30, and then I had it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it like changes immediately.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
I will if I smoke too many cigarettes, I get a headache, but that's everybody, I guess. You know.
I've never smoked too much. I've probably smoked the equivalent of 1 pack my entire life because I never bought a pack. The only time I smoked was in college, probably like just freshman year, like when I was blackout and was outside of a bar and was trying to flirt with somebody, and they were like, "Do you want a cigarette?" And I'm like, "I'll pretend," you know, like. But
Yeah.
But I never. That was the thing, and I've said this so many times. But like my saving grace, and I'll make sure my child does this. I will make sure they smoke weed before they ever smoke a cigarette, because once you smoke weed, you get high, and then you smoke a cigarette and you get nothing. You get a coolie, minty kind of relaxation feel
Yeah.
that you never
You smoke
get.
menthols?
But I'm saying, like, and I think the first
Yeah.
one I did was,
Smoke
yeah.
Marlboro Lights, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marb lights, and
best.
also what are the Parliament lights? This is when I was a big Coke dick.
Oh, yeah, because that hole
because
right in
they
the
have
top.
the little thing in the back filter, and I used to do bumps out of the filter and then smoke it.
Oh, the best.
Because then you'd just be like, I'm getting a numbie while inhaling smoke.
Dude, I want to party tonight.
There's nothing that I mean, not nothing, but there are few finer memories that I have, sense memories, than working in an ad agency when I first got to the city and first started doing comedy, and walking around Union Square to get my cross-eyed boss his lunch while Adderall to the gills and ripping butts of cigs. I mean, watching bum fights,
Yeah.
ripping butts, not blinking. It was the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
It was the best.
Yeah, so I think I would. I don't know. I don't think I would. Just because even cosmetically, it's like,
I'm too vain.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's also like, I mean, once you smoke enough cigarettes and then you floss your teeth and everything's blood,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, this is really terrible for you.
Plus, I like drink and everything, and that's already bad like I'm puffy and everything, you know.
Yeah. Also, when you're hungover and smelling cigarettes, that'll make you quit.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's
I
a
hate
fucking-
that
when
smell.
When you smell like the baby laxative cutting agent of the cocaine, the booze on your breath, and then the cigs on your fingers, you're like, this is the perfect storm of I want to kill myself.
Yes, yeah.
Convoy. If you had to pick either television or books to remove from existence, which would you choose and why?
I mean, that's pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't trying to write a book.
Bye, bookie.
Bye, books.
Written word. Talk about overrated.
You had your run.
Yeah, you sure did.
Here's
And
what we do. We take every single book and we have fucking Morgan Freeman and David Attenborough fucking turn it into an audiobook.
Yeah, and then you
we're-
never need books again.
Do you know, like, most of the reason we have any philosophy books whatsoever are because of the Muslims? Because during the Crusades, all the Christians were burning, they burned, like, I think 90% of written word, and the Muslims were the only people that actually, like, kept all of the written philosophy and like saved it.
Jeez,
Isn't
wow.
that crazy?
That is crazy.
I know.
I'd like to go back to like reading like maybe like a book. I wish like every 100 years I could go back and read like one philosophizer's thought on like where they think like, you know, they all answer the same like 10 questions. Like, what do you think happens after we die? What do you think is going to happen to us in the future? Like all like the basic things that I wish we had every, 100 years one person answer and just think and see how right and wrong and how much it changes, where they're like, in 100 years we're all going to be pig people, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
It didn't really even. I took philosophy in college, which was probably a wildly useless course, but it was actually interesting, and a lot of what they were saying is like similar to what people are saying about the internet right now. Is like the great divide is gonna come when people's attention, when everybody's polarized and all these, like they were talking about the problems with democracy and everybody having a voice and not a turn to speak. Like,
yeah, it's been the same thing every 10 years, just
really
with different
has.
technology.
Yeah, we're a bunch of fucking shaved apes.
Yeah.
God, if you and a friend were stuck on a ski lift at the end of the day and no one knew, what would you do? You're 20 feet in the air, so dropping out will likely break something.
That sucks.
Like your legs.
Like your legs.
Did you say that?
No. I literally just copy and paste these questions.
Here's what
this is a very interesting question.
Here's what I would do.
Scary.
Here's what I would do. First off, I'm getting off that lift. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off the snowboard or the skis, and then I am going to use my hands, and I'm going to like pull up hang from the thing. So now the distance is only 14 feet that I'm dropping.
That ain't bad.
And then I'm just gonna give it a whirl.
Yep.
And then I'll just fucking get off, because I've been on ski lifts before that have just not like been stuck, but have stopped for 45 seconds with all of my gear on, and it's so cold and so windy, and you know, in some of these mountains, and you're like, there's no way you're surviving overnight. So the only option is to get off, unless you're doing a thing where you take the fucking snowboard and you put it over the cable and you fucking like zip line it down. But then you're only gonna make it. Then you're only gonna make it to the next chairlift, and then you're gonna fucking fall on your back.
Can I mix your two things that you just said?
Yes.
What you do is, I'm going to. You take the snowboard, right? You unhook the thing that like goes over your foot, and locks in, binding. You put that on the railing of the, like right here. So you put it like there. Then you grab the other side of the snowboard, the other binding, and you lower yourself. Now you're whatever feet plus the feet of the snowboard. So you're even
slippery
lower.
board though. It'd be tough.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, but if you can really hold on. But I mean, you're holding onto the
Yeah, you're holding onto the rail regardless. So you can try to. You'd have to probably go bare hands, because that's how cause the most friction with the board. Like
I'd
if you
probably
had gloves,
also take off the boot. I'd
tail.
throw the boots down, and I'd take off the boots, because that's where you're really gonna get hurt. Is if you're wearing especially ski boots, because those are like two casts on your fucking legs. If you drop down with those on, it's going to, like, the impact is going to shatter probably your shin or something. So I would take them off, jump barefoot into the snow, and then quickly put them back on.
Question: how would you fall? Would you
feet first?
Right,
head first,
but
it's crunched.
Yeah. Would you? Oh, also, you have your friend there, so technically
he can lower you.
Technically, you can climb down the first person's body and then be lowered and drop like 3 feet, and then that idiot can jump into your arms.
Yeah,
that idiot.
Except you're definitely not catching the second person.
No, you're just letting them die.
Who goes first?
I mean, if Brendan went first, you could catch me.
I could catch you.
You could catch me.
I could catch you.
I'm coming down like a bullet.
I could catch you.
I think you
right.
could catch me. I know,
No one's catching you.
Can I just say what I'm saying before we start picking the low-hanging fruit? You fucking...
No, you're very low-hanging, but I wouldn't call you a fruit.
There's a lot of weight on the branch.
Okay, well...
Low-hanging meat.
All right, you really picked that low-hanging fruit for a couple of tall fucking... I almost said...
Low-hanging stomach.
Button's going to hear these and be like,
yeah, I made a great mistake.
Cool. See,
yeah.
my IGP is on gas.
I think one of you could not catch me like, like...
No way.
Whoa, but at least land where you're like,
fall.
whoa, and then like kind of like bring me to the ground.
Here's something I think I could do. I think when you're falling, I could drop kick you. And I think as you're falling, if I drop kick you and time it, your inertia is going to go from falling this way to swaying this way, and that might break a little bit of your fall, but the drop kick's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt. And also, I mean, here's the thing. So nobody is catching you like you're
of course.
Like you're a cheerleader that's coming down.
I couldn't even catch you like that. No,
I could catch Feeney like that. I'm positive I could.
Feeney you could catch with one hand and then just spear him
I could
back into the cabin. Swing him around your finger.
I got a lot more limbs than you guys think. You got to picture how long everything is.
I just put my finger
And how
up his
sharp.
ass
I'm very sharp. I'm very sharp. I'm doing lacerations to things.
Yeah, you have a lot of sharp edges.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna be
stuff.
lacerated just
for
from
sure.
skin to skin
You're
contact.
definitely cutting my cheek with an elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Brendan, what would happen is like we'd both go down. I would break your fall a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'd probably end up like herniating some discs.
I don't think so, man.
Oh,
No,
you would.
Of course
You would.
do.
You would have.
This isn't even an insult to you, even though you're oddly taking it that way.
Super
this just means
offended.
you're a person who weighs 200 pounds, let's say.
Generous.
Which I do.
Flat.
Which I do.
Sure. 200 pounds. And for us to stand still, bent knees, whatever, and to try to brace ourselves, catch you while like
A middle heavy object.
yeah, dude, that is the first strain point is our
Middle heavy.
lower back, and it's gonna our discs are gonna fire out of our spine.
He got mad. I said middle heavy. Where do you think you carry your weight?
You
in
know,
your toes?
yeah, no, you know what it is. You know what it is. Mike is being very realistic, and you just keep jabbing. You just go like, he's like, catching anybody is going to be really hard, and you're like, and you have big cheeks.
Your head is very. Is like you have bowling ball head.
I have Baldwin head, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that head because here's the thing: everybody with
that's
a
sweet.
everybody
Okay,
with
nice.
a
This is
giant,
nice.
giant bulbous head. Everybody, they're all famous. Like you look at
You
people,
really do have wee character head.
dude. But I'm not kidding. I think that's a trait of getting famous is having like a big head. Like look, Chris Stefano, in shape guy,
Huge
one
head.
of the biggest heads you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, even Paul Rudd's got a big fucking
Do you
knocker.
know who
Yep.
do you know who had this theory?
Who's that?
Turtle. He said Russell Crowe, big head.
Oh,
Vinny
yeah.
Chase, big head.
Yeah, you need a
Yeah.
big head to get famous. That's why it hasn't worked out for
maybe
Canada.
I'll help you
now.
guys out on the red carpet when
Yeah.
Big Head number 4 comes out.
Yeah.
Starring Jack Black.
Yeah.
And Brendan's an usher.
And Brendan as young Jack.
Jack Black, big head.
Ships
Jack
sailed.
Black's big head. Yeah.
Kyle, small head.
I don't know. He's got a pretty
He's
big
got
head.
a big head.
He's
Yeah.
also not as famous.
No, he is famous though.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more.
If you were in a band, what type of music would you play?
Is this based off of ability or a dream scenario?
Dream scenario.
All right. If I could play, I'm trying to think of you think of what would be the most fun for you. I go back and forth between, do I want to play something like if you're a drummer for a metal band, that's the most work you could ever put on yourself. Or even a
So
guitarist,
fun,
there's
though.
so much
You
this.
have shredded lats.
Yeah, I know your calves, if you're a drummer, are probably the size of fucking grapefruit. But you're doing so much work. It'd almost be easier to be like my one of my best friend's cousins was the drummer in this post-hardcore band, but then he the band broke up and he became the drummer for Miley Cyrus's touring band, and he got to play Miley Cyrus beats to stadiums, and you're like,
Wow.
that's the easiest gig
Yeah.
ever, and that's paying lucrative, and he's getting all of the benefits of being a famous rock star
yeah.
without nobody knows who he is, but he's like making more money than
Yeah,
God.
You pussy. All
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah,
My brother-in-law was Joan Jett's session drummer.
Whoa.
For a while, and did session drumming for a lot of people before. He hated the road, so that's why he eventually stopped. But those session drummers make so much fucking money because they're all specialty guys. They're all really great. They spice up otherwise bland music that is very rudimentary and shit. So he was he was caking.
I think there is a thing though, and as much as my heart's always for drumming first and stuff, but to be like a lead guitarist is
So much
another
fun.
level of because you can you're in the front of the stage, you can kind of post up, start doing your fucking riff, nobody knows the drummer of Guns N' Roses off the top of their head. Everybody knows Slash. You know what I'm saying?
His
It's
name
just
is Gash.
yeah, Slash and Gash. That was their original name for Guns N' Roses, Slash and Gash.
I would be Eric Clapton. That's it. Because that's the perfect mix of somebody who can play acoustic, can shred on electric.
Who's in Cream.
I can sing all of his songs. All of his songs are literally my karaoke
In
wheelhouse
a
because they're
room
in my exact
black
register.
curtains.
Yeah.
And also, I'm just now starting to listen to some of the music my dad played me as a kid because I was so
It's
just,
phenomenal.
get this fucking loser out of here. But Eric Clapton, Mark Knopfler, like Traveling Wilburys,
Yeah.
all these different kind of bands like that are kid friendly and crew enjoys. It's like that. I feel like that would be the type of music I would play.
It would be very
Fun
cool to
rock.
be, and like the name of the
Tom
band
Petty.
is Your
Yeah.
Name.
Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Fun rock.
John Mayer in a
Fuck.
way. Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck. I would be in like a rap duo, like Run the Jewels kind of thing, where I consider them a band. So yeah.
So you
So
called them a group first. You said I'd be in a rap group, like
rap
the band Run the Jewels.
yeah, like the band Run the Jewels. Yeah, something like that. That would be fucking cool. Just be with somebody, just fucking hitting bars with like your best friend on the road. You don't really have to carry much besides amplifiers and you have your own DJ, but they have their own equipment. You don't have to fuck with it. You don't really have to know much. And then just like pumping up the crowd would be so fucking cool.
So you'd be like the proof to an Eminem.
No, because
the
that's
LP.
not a band. That's a hype man. I would be the
LP.
LP to a Killer Mike.
Okay.
So the far less superior rapper in the
Well, then
duo.
I'd be the Killer Mike to the LP. You get what I'm trying to say. I'd be
second fiddle.
No,
You'd
but
be-
they're the same fiddle.
You'd be the Robin.
Are they?
They're one of the same fiddles.
Do you think they're the same as quality?
No, but I think LP makes a lot of the beats.
Okay.
So he's probably making money behind the scenes while Killer Mike is,
but he's really good too.
gallivanting with Bernie Sanders.
He's
across
not bad.
America.
I mean, I'll call LP right now. We'll
Get him on the
we'll
phone.
talk it out.
This
That's
would
all
be
right.
a great
Can't-
ending to the episode.
Can't. We're
unfortunately.
we're using my phone to.
Next
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
guys. Next time. Next question. We'll do two more. right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Excellent. Again, thank you so much to everybody for listening to the pod. Join our Patreon. It's
We're brand
Patreon.
new.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
patreon.com/scenario-pod. That is not brand new. That we have about I think
6
80
months?
So many
I think 80
episodes.
episodes up on the Patreon exclusively. Join for as low as $5 a month. We have tiers
Unreal.
that we offer all this different types of content. We do a monthly hang with our patrons,
members.
which is amazing because some podcasts do that when they reach a absurdly high number of Patreon members. We just do that every single month with
Yeah.
our highest tiers. So join patreon.com/scenario-pod and then, pass this around. This grows from your word of mouth. You tell people this is the type of show you like. This is the comedy you like. These are the three goofuses that you like doing it. So please spread the word, and we appreciate it very much.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to Laugh Button. Check out the other shows on their network.
And
check out us.
leave
at
a review.
Leave a
Leave a
5-star
review.
review on iTunes and spread this
Yeah.
around because in the first few weeks it's the most important. So tell everybody about the show. It's escapism. We're not
Yeah.
talking about current events. It's evergreen. You can come listen to this episode 30 years from now. It's still going to be fucking relevant, except that we'll all be dead.
That's
And follow us. Find us on social media at I am Mike Feeney.
At I am Mike Cannon.
And at Brendan Sagalow.
Let's
Hell yeah.
game the algo, everybody. Reviews, share, sucking hair. All right. If you had to pick, we already did that one. We did that one as well. If you were homeless and had no friends or family, Brendan, what would you do to try and get off the street?
I've always said this, which if I was a homeless person, and I'm talking those, that stretch of winter when all of a sudden it's like 20 below for
Yeah.
a month, that February kind of a shit,
Yeah.
I would just sucker punch a cop in the face. Get inside, get into a jail, three,
Square meals.
yeah, what is it called?
Square meals.
Yeah, but no, it's like a rhyming thing. They go like a place to sleep and three
And 3 sheep.
3 square meals a day and something keeps the doctor away. I don't know. But I would do that.
But dude, they're not staying in jail that long. They're letting those people out.
if you
Even
assault a police officer,
I think if I think you don't stay in that long. I mean, like,
but
if you're
the question is
if
not
you're
how
a
would you get
homeless
off the
person-
streets permanently. Is how do you get off the streets? I want to be.
Oh,
I'll get some
yeah.
food. I'll get some fucking a nice bed to sleep in. Even if it's a hard prison bed, it's still better than the ground.
Yeah.
and it's not freezing cold.
Totally.
I mean, all you can do,
And you get to
is-
punch a cop.
So you busk. Well, that's the perk of that. Is you busk, right? So you make a certain amount of money, then maybe you get yourself all cleaned up. Then you go to a bar and you try to meet a special someone, guy, gal, whatever. You're homeless. You can't be choosy.
Yeah.
So whatever hits on you first, that's who you're living with for the time being.
I thought you were going to say you go to a bar and try to get a job.
I thought he was going to
whore
say
yourself
something
out.
way worse. I thought he was going to be
Yeah.
like, you go to a bar, you meet a girl, you try and rape her. That's a much bigger sentence. So you're in jail for much longer. Like, oh, okay.
First of all, there is no try, only do.
Ah.
I
Yoda.
would, I think, I don't know. Maybe I'd.
That is Yoda.
He doesn't say it like that.
Yeah,
He
Well,
goes
he
like,
does when it pertains
he
to
speaks
rape.
normal?
He says, "Do it or not, there is no try."
Yeah.
Oh,
But he
And
doesn't go.
specifically about rape.
Yeah. Okay. and then he puts it in our.
Nothing he gets offended about more than sullying good
Star
Yoda's
Wars,
name.
yeah.
No, I was just trying to think of my answer because now I'm second guessing it because I don't even think it could happen. But I would say like I would go to a church and just try to get a job there and like see if they like I'll be like I'll do anything
That's not
here.
bad.
Do they hire outside of the clergy?
They try to hire home. That's why they let the homeless people sleep on their stoop, you know?
Yeah.
It's just as good of a
That's
job.
what sucks if you're like, man, we got this beautiful church set up. You know, it's beautiful. People are coming in, and then you're like, the homeless are laying out there, and they smell, and they're like screaming at night, and you're like, God damn it, we're all God's children, but like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but
go
you also
around the
might
corner.
be related to the devil.
What would Jesus do? Add spikes.
Yeah. I love going into churches too. Like if I ever have like free time, I'll walk into a church.
You'll never
and-
see me in
I'll
a
just sit
church
in there.
more often than when I'm in Europe, and I get to go see these like beautiful basilicas that are 400 years old, some even more. And like even when we went to Ireland and stuff, we're like going all these stained glass, these architecture, like
Wow.
Gothic looking. You're like, you would think if you looked at our like travels, like from where we visit, that we are devout Christians or something.
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
like we just are like, whoa, architecture.
Yeah.
Anyway, next bar.
That's the only way you get into heaven. God's like, well, this is you shouldn't be here, but
You've been to
Your Foursquare
1800s.
is
Yeah,
wild.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All churches.
Dude, I went to the
Can't argue with stats.
Notre
Yeah.
Dame before it all it went burn.
Before
yeah,
they
yeah.
pumped millions into the restoration, it's going to be perfectly
They'll never be
fine.
the same.
It is going to be perfectly fine. It's gonna echo with the screams of children for centuries. For church, I don't know if they do hire people though.
I don't know either. But maybe.
Yeah,
That's
they
not
have
a
like
bad idea. St. Malachi's Church. Have you ever been there? It's like 52nd in between 8th and 9th. It's where Chris Farley used to go after the like hard party.
Yeah, and then Sunday morning he would go there.
Church. I was in there when I spiraled after reading his biography, The Chris Farley Show.
Whoa.
I went through the 3-week depression.
I wanna
because
read
of how
that.
upsetting it is.
Do you hear what he's saying?
No, it's really fantastic, but actually it might get Brendan to stop drinking because that was the first time that I thought where I was like, all right, maybe I just shouldn't do anything.
Or it might get me to start drinking and coke and heroin.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
You're like, so wait a minute, I can be the life of the party?
I could be the best.
You just close it before the last chapter. You're like, and it all worked out.
It might make you stick a pool cue up your ass.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he was big into that.
Really?
Yeah, it was a big party bit. that he
Oh,
would do
that's
all the
great.
time.
Yeah, I
That's
can picture him
great.
just going like, ooh, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
face,
yeah.
you know? Like, he could really sell that phase.
Yeah, I wonder if it was thick end or thin end.
Had to be thin end.
I don't know.
I don't know. After a while, maybe it became thick.
He just has lightly dyed blue poop the next couple days.
blue poop.
Bloop. Fun. All right, last one. We're gonna end on a high note here. You have a terminal illness and are going to die in 3 years, but you can be cryogenically frozen today and have a 20% chance of being revived in 500 years and then live for another 50 years. Would you be frozen?
And not if it's only 20%.
Yeah,
That's
20%
it's
seems too low.
few of a thing. I think I'm just gonna live. How much time do I have? 5 years?
3 years.
3 years? That's a good run. I think I could make some stuff.
3 years goes by fast.
Yeah, I mean, and also in 500 years, what am I living for?
Yeah, but I would do
Yourself.
like a reverse. You know how Billy Crystal put out
Not
that
worth
he put out that like 600 Sundays or whatever, the one that's like the amount of days he had with his dad before he died. It was like that beautiful one-man show that he did that was like incredible. I would do something like that, but a reverse, but really make it known to everybody on social media. Like, I only got 400 Saturdays left, you guys. And
Get a sweet Quincy Jones bump.
yeah. It was
I honestly think that would get old to people. Like you'd be like, I have
not
2 years.
not to the good people of social media and Comedy Central.
Not Ellen.
Yeah.
She'd dime us up a fucking spesh immediately.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks,
yeah.
Elle.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Yeah,
you.
if you're
thank
listening.
you, listeners, for Here's the Scenario. What was that? For Here's the Scenario. Thank you so much for everybody checking us out. Again, spread the word. Let everybody know about the pod. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/scenariopod. 2 extra episodes of this podcast per week. I do an individual podcast. We put additional content up there. It is flooded with comedy. So be sure to check that out for as low as $5 a month. And again, we appreciate your support. We love you guys. Anything else?
Bye.
That's it.
Be sure to neuter your pets.
Yeah.
Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.